Since Stenden was established in Port Alfred in 2001, and they have been involved with community development. And they have different students being involved with different projects. We had social work students, art therapy students, teacher students, and also students with, for example, hospitality background, doing a humanitarian management minor. Some are involved for 10 weeks, others for 5 months, and then we have students that stay for a whole year. With the community involvement that Stenden does, we really try to focus on the community that's, well, it's Port Alfred itself or it's nearby Port Alfred. We focused on Nimato, in Nelson Mandela Township, on Station Hill, on New Rest and on Thornhill, and also on Port Alfred Town, on some organizations there. And then we also focus sometimes on Bathurst and Kenton and Alexandria. The Community Development Department tries to support the students on the academic side and on the practical side. So it's me working for the department, and then it's my colleague Mzameli Dikeni. He's in touch with the project, so he makes sure that the project coordinators in the field also know what kind of students are we going to get and can they be beneficial for the projects. Because that is what we always try to do, to have as much benefit as possible for both the project and the student. So it must really contribute to what the project is doing at the moment, and it must match their needs or their wishes for a student, for maybe the specific expertise, or a student wants to learn something new, or it's a personality that matches with that project coordinator or not. So really try to match as well as possible, which is always, of course, a challenge for us. As a community development department, we try not first of all to help in a financial way, but we try to help by matching the right student to the right project, and then to add more knowledge to the project, or to add more hands-on work to the project, because these students have a lot of new ideas and a lot of time, because it's for their academics actually that they have to do this. So they can deliver quite quality work. It's most of the things that the projects ask the students to do is things that they would normally not have time for. So students can really make it an assignment to come to a certain result. The people that run the project, they mostly have a very busy life, because they have to balance their work and their family life. And students come in with a project and they say, okay, let's change this, let's do this, let's look into this. It's very active, because they have a certain time frame in which they really want to achieve something. And that's not always easy for the people in the project, because they have their normal rhythm, and the student kind of disturbs that normal rhythm. So it's very difficult sometimes for the students to slow down and work with them in their own pace, because they also have the idea that they want to achieve something within the time that they are here, and they kind of want a personal good feeling out of being in the project. Mostly in the end it will be alright, and in the beginning it's a bit hard sometimes, because then they think things are not going quickly enough. They don't understand me correctly, can I make it, and where is the motivation? But in the end they do see the changes that they've made, and even though it's small things, that's actually more important. Small things that are well implemented are more important than big things that have changed. These karate lessons are a great example of a local entrepreneur that had an idea and that he has now realized with the help of some entrepreneurship students. Those are also students that do a 5-month minor at Stenden. Now this man wanted to offer karate lessons to children in the township. He was already offering them in town, but now they made a plan that some children that are more disadvantaged, they can actually also join the class. As a department, we're trying to have a real impact in the community, and that entails that we meet the right needs at the right moment. This also means that students have to be flexible and open to the projects that we suggest to them, and they cannot always have a complete free choice of the projects. At the moment, for example, we get many requests for computer training, which makes sense because some time ago Stenden has donated computers to a lot of projects, and now they actually realize, okay, we don't know how to work with the computer, so can you please give us that support? So we have a project running at the Entrepreneurship Center where we teach children and adults. And then in Nomzamo, that's a high school, we have a project running that, for example, students can volunteer in. And well, there are more of such examples, like after-school care programs where they also train kids to work with the computer. A type of project that we're also asked to assist in at the moment quite often is projects that are focused on the environment. I think if you go to the townships, everyone will see that there's a lot of rubbish in the streets. People litter like basically anywhere, and the rubbish doesn't get picked up that regularly as, like, for example, they put over a town. So it seems like it's not so much of a priority for the people in the community, although it really has a bad impact, a negative impact on health, for example, on how the streets look like. I mean, you must be proud of your community as well, and now there's all this litter in the streets. And we have some students now in Kuyasa. It is a school, and as an extracurricular activity, they give environmental classes. So they teach the children, for example, on their direct environment, but also on wildlife, on South Africa's nature. And yeah, they are starting up a vegetable garden. They've raised funds for that. And at the school they're going to establish that garden. And the kids are going to be educated of how to grow the food. They're going to be educated about what can you actually do with these vegetables. And they are going to help in the garden to keep it going and to grow the vegetables. A good example of a successful vegetable garden is the one at Nkuthathweni. Nkuthathweni is a school for disabled children, children with mental and physical handicaps. It's a really strong project, and it has a strong team of people working at the project. We have had students involved that study education, art therapy, social work, and at the moment there are some students involved that do the minor humanitarian management. I was here myself when I was a student, and I can actually proudly say that in this project there has been a lot of progress. If I would show you pictures from 10 years ago, it would be a totally different school than it is now. And it's so well organized compared to how it was at that time. So I think that is a project where you can really see the positive impact that Stenden can have and that Stenden students can have. Of course, it's the project themselves that has driven that whole process, but yeah, we're happy to have that kind of cooperation with them and be able to really have an impact in a project like that. House of Happiness is a project for elderly people. They come there during the day to just have social activities, sit and chat with each other or with the coordinator or other volunteers. They also do home visits for those elderly that cannot come to House of Happiness anymore but have to stay at home. So they do give them support with, for example, education, or if they have questions about their pension and money, they just help them with practical things, cleaning the house or washing the elderly. Students have also been involved with this project in the past, and they have done some activities with the elderly. They actually designed specific activities fit for elderly people. Even though some of the young people don't have a bachelor degree or a diploma certificate, but they, for example, only finished their secondary school, then having a driver license is a big plus when you look for a job, because it's a hard skill that can get you into a lot of jobs. So by helping these students to offer some lessons at the driving simulator for free, makes it much cheaper to later on go for lessons in the real car, but then it's only a couple that they have to take before they can go for their exam. So it makes it much more in reach for them to actually get a driver license. Ingubo is a project that's basically funded by Stenden University. It's for around, let's say, I think at the moment 30 street children that come to Ingubo after school. There's some little ones because the age really differs from around 3 years old until, I think at the moment they're 20 years old, the oldest. These are children that are living in very disadvantaged families, and they don't really have a strong support behind them. So many of the families, they work on the dump, so they collect garbage and they try to sell it and get some money out of that. The children also help them. So in the past we've gone onto the dump site and see, okay, which of the families have kids here that do not go to school and that actually should be in school. Now we have identified these children, asked the parents if they allow them to go to Ingubo, and Ingubo has helped them to go back to school. They made sure that they've got a uniform, they've got a backpack, they've got their basic school supplies. They get a warm meal when they come back from school and they come to Ingubo. And then we try to do many social activities with them. Fun activities, but also activities that will help them to deal with some maybe traumatic experiences they have gone through that help them to be successful in future life, to work on leadership skills, to work on social skills or other life skills. And then next to the students that come here to really do a program, which is part of their academic requirements, we also have many students, and then especially the foreign students, that really want to experience how it is to work in a township. So next to all the projects that we support and that students actually have an assignment in, we have a lot of volunteer projects. Computer training, it's New Rest Crash, for example, where they do a lot of volunteer work. The preschools are also understaffed, so they have a big group of very small children which need a lot of attention. And so students can actually sign up to, for example, go in for a morning a week and offer some activities to the children, or to just assist in the classes. Yeah, so even for students that come here and really have a couple of hours left, they can spend it in some of the projects and they can do some voluntary work according to what they're good at or what they would like to do. For students, things that are most important to realize when you come to South Africa for your field work, I think first of all is to try and learn from the people instead of trying to teach the people. I think that's the first thing. If you're open to a new experience and you're open to people's perspective and to people's opinion, that is important, because sometimes it's really easy for us Western people to come up with our efficient ideas, with our new ideas, new technology. It's not what people are waiting for. They really want to get to know you. That's a very important first lesson. So you must really spend time on getting to know the people in the project. The second important thing is they must realize that they have to be flexible. For us it's very hard to give the students an overview of projects and say, okay, these are your possibilities. And that is because we have other students already involved with some of the projects and then the project is full. We have sometimes specific expertise needed for one of the projects, and then we try to really add to the project. So we really try to to work with them in what they need at that moment. For students coming to South Africa, the most important thing to do is to sit back a bit, try to slow down, be open towards having a new experience, working with people that you do not know and a culture that you do not know. Being curious and just to be open and give it time to really get to know the people. Because if you put in effort to get to know them, they will also get to know you. And from there on you can work on your project, on your ideas, and you can actually get somewhere together with the people in the project.